This is from March 2002. Nobody was in charge. It seemed the government was in charge for a while, when it had become clear that they were merely puppets. Not the puppets of the people as should have been, but of certain people, a few, and really nobody knew who exactly that was. The government had become highly secretive. The results of the corporate entity's powers were not evident to the average citizen. Hardly anyone would believe that people would be so fated for prison, where they could work for 20 cents an hour, as opposed to working for minimum wage. Having a large portion of the population locked up to labor cheaply, it couldn't be more perfect. Everything was about money. Money usually comes with power, so power was a major objective. The people became very simply used. By the time the remaining free citizens had decided to stand up against it, it was too late. They were already slaves. A generation of apathy had been created, a generation willing to give freedom for a security that never was. No longer racism, but politicism. Revolution was no longer possible. How could they get what they need? No way were we willing to go back to older, harder ways of life. We were not willing to grow our own food, raise our own hens to provide for our families. We no longer had families, and certain regulations and GM crops had made it in time impossible to do so anyway. We don't see destruction in the future. In fact, we don't see anything. We were dependent upon that entity as our only true source of food. And it wasn't just us, but most of the world. One giant cop supplied the world's food. After several attacks on the nation's water supplies, bottled water from secure facilities was issued to the citizens, provided that they gave the corporation, it's not corp, it's corp, that they gave the corporation personal information, fingerprints, DNA samples, etc. What a bribe. I wrote that in 2002. I mean, that's kind of... He never thought it could actually happen. He'd heard the odd story about it in the news, but that was years ago. He thought it was implausible. Service people would never spy on customers, and certainly if they did, no arrest would be made, unless he pressed charges. Some of the girls at work are pretty cool, and my job is interesting. I'm doing it. Our information is provided by 4 major networks. That's it. Basically, telling us, the public, to get used to it. Sure, the people will be better off after the death and destruction. This is a man groomed to become president. He has his own plan. Voices will fail to change this plan. A year and a half ago, this country faced tragedy. Yet each day, reports indicate more bombing, more loss, more tragedy. Most drug users and dealers do not have access to Stinger missiles or any other weapons of mass destruction. Let's bring 2 useless wars together. Do you think they want to go out of business? For this reason, we will never live a peaceful, equal society. I fail to see how every American taxpayer will benefit from these wars. The people of Iraq are represented by their government, Ari Fleischer. That's what he said. Increasing minimum wage jobs is not adequate. Bush plan, economic plan ignores underemployment. Funnel the tax breaks to the stock market. So, 2002, doesn't feel like much change since then. Just more blatant and worse and more predatory, I guess. More obvious, gross, more gross, grosser, more evil.